Hi everyone, and welcome to Caravan and Camping Week. I'm from the Caravan and Camping Industries Association office, and we're here to shoot some videos about the different types of product you can take away, plus also some hints and tips. And I'm here with Mike Griggs. Mike Griggs is about 120 years old.
Yeah, you're right.
And you've been caravanning a few years?
Over 40 years.
40 years. So you go away a lot and you've fixed up lots of vans. You've seen a lot of stuff in your time.
And we have.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about how to pack your van and where to put items of different weights. So if you stand back, Mike, look, we've raided Officeworks this morning. We've stuck all this coloured card on there, and you're not colourblind, are you, Mike? No. All right, well, that helps. So we're going to just talk to you about the different weight of items in these different colours. So blue here represents light stuff. Actually, Georgie, can you check the texter? All right. Oh, I've got the texter. All right. I know Mike's a bit old, so I'm going to write light on there. So we'll put the light stuff, Mike. You can see on the end, either ends of the van, and just over in the middle there. So why do we put light stuff on the ends of the van?
Well, we don't want excessive weight at the rear, and we definitely don't want excessive weight at the front, because we don't want to increase the ball weight too much. So we want to keep the van like a boat. We want to keep the van balanced. All
right, and the van and the actual manufacturers of the van take into account, and the chassis builder, where they put the axle to try to get a nice balanced weight over the van.
They do that to work out a ball weight that's 10% or a little bit more. So the van tows, when it's empty, tows fairly right, and the idea for the customer is to keep that ratio correct.
So by putting the light stuff on either ends, it doesn't really muck around with how the chassis designer really designed the chassis for the weight. So we've got the light stuff on the ends.
Yep.
Now let's go to the yellow stuff.
That's
medium weight?
Pardon?
Medium weight?
Yeah. Your plates, you usually use plastic plates and cups and things like that, because you want something that's light up there, and if your weight is too heavy at the top, it'll cause the caravan to roll. So the weight is down. Yeah. Down to the floor, and the light stuff's up there.
The medium stuff,
and that could be tea towels and.
Yeah. So the medium yellow stuff's still kind of in the middle of the van.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just write medium. So this is medium weight stuff. And now, Mike, let's turn to let me just grab that. Let's now go to the red. So what does red represent?
Well, the heaviest things you're carrying, your water tank will be probably just in front of the axle or around about near the axle. Yep. So that's a heavy item. And then if you've got like Ozpigs and stuff that you want to take in plastic crates, you put them over the floor in the middle or over the axle. If you go too far for the front, you'll increase the ball weight too heavy. If you go to the rear of the van, you'll decrease the ball weight and cause the van to sway.
Okay, so red is heavy. I won't drop the lid this time. So heavy stuff over the axle.
Yep.
So you're not really affecting the weight of the van either end.
You're trying to keep a ball weight of around about what it started at. You don't really want to increase that ball weight to a great degree.
All right. So I'm going to give you a pop quiz. Where would you pack a slab of beer? In the fridge in the back of the car. Probably a stupid question.
So let's ask in the back of the car. So or on the floor. No, on the floor of the van, you know.
Around the red?
Yeah, around the red area.
Right,
Anything
here's another question.
Like
I know blokes pack every single tool they can think of. So where do I pack my compressor?
Probably in the boot.
Okay, so let's go towards the boot.
Maybe you're going to need to change a tyre or something like that.
So the compressor is in there, yeah. Yep. So how about all your tools and things?
Well, you don't take too many tools. The thing you do is to cut the weight down on that sort of thing, but you just pick out the essentials.
There's a really good hint right there. Pick out the essentials.
Yeah, pick out the essentials.
So tool-wise, I mean, I used to shove them on the boot. I'd hate to think the weight of the boot of my camper trailer they actually took
a good idea is to take all the gear. We've done it here. Is to take all the gear out of your boot and weigh it with the bathroom scales. I've seen people with floor jacks and all sorts of things in the boot, and most boots have got a load limit of 30 to 50 kilograms written on them. Some people have 150 or 200. You've got to remember the amount you put in the boot is probably going to increase the ball weight. So if the ball weight's 275 and you put 100 in there, you're now gone 375 on the ball. You don't want that.
Yeah, so what you do usually pack your tools in the front boot. Tools that you need straight away, I would recommend, and I'm not the expert you are, but I'd recommend that you put the tools you need kind of regularly in the front. The tools that you don't need regularly, and if you can get into your caravan quite easily, why not pack them inside, again, in a couch, skins around that, that
heavy
red area,
that's right, that's
over
correct.
the axle.
Yep, that's correct.
So we've talked about that. Now, after all of that, when you're travelling and you've got your water tank, so how much does the water tank usually hold?
Well, they're 90 litres, and most caravans have got two water tanks. And
So
some
like
caravans may
nearly
even have
200 kilos of weight.
yes, and some caravans will have a grey water tank.
Okay.
So if you go into national parks and that, they want you to take your wastewater out. So
Which is great. So when we're talking about water, should we fill the water tanks before we go away, or should we travel with them empty?
depends where you travel. I suggest you start off empty, and then if you're going to go to places like you're going to go out back, then maybe before you leave that last town, you fill that last night stop, you fill your tanks then.
Okay.
If not, most caravan parks have got mains water and that, and you may not need to travel with water tanks with any water in at all.
So you're saying if you can travel, when you leave home to go on a trip, try to leave them empty if you can, depending on where you go. If you're going somewhere straight away where you're remote, obviously you have to fill it full of water. But you just talked about a caravan having, 2 water tanks. That's 90 litres each. That's 180 litres of weight.
Yeah, that's right.
That you may not even have to tap into.
And that's
so just kind of think ahead, you're saying, about
Yep,
where you're
that's
going,
right.
where the last stop is.
That's going to affect your fuel consumption, and if you don't need to carry it, it's like when you go through your van, you work out what trip you're going to do and what gear you need in your van. I always say a caravan needs 2 doors, one on the side, the curb side, for the wife to pack it, and one on the other side for the man to take all the stuff out that's not necessary.
Okay, maybe the wife wants to take out some of all the tools the blokes take. So it could be both ways, right?
That's not non-negotiable.
So anyway, so Mike, thank you so much. So we've talked about the different weights, and remember, blue's the light gear, medium is the yellow, and red is the heavy. And I think the main thing to understand is it's the red, really. That's probably the main thing. If you've got anything heavy, if you can, try to pack it in the van over the axles. Now, this kind of makeshift diagram we've got here is actually in the National Recreational Vehicle Towing Guide. Now, these are very limited supply print run, but you can actually download it and go online. So if you Google the National Recreational Vehicle Towing Guide, you'll be able to find this. This diagram's in here, and it also talks about different towing accessories you can put on the tow bar and the tow ball to help with the weight. So Mike, if we've done all of this, and you connect the van onto the car, and the arcing of the car just sinks right down, what do you suggest we do?
Well, there's different components you can buy for that. There's like your weight distributing bars, which will lift the back of your vehicle. There's heavy duty coil springs you can put in your vehicle. There's airbags, all sorts of things. But you probably should contact your specialist in suspensions to see what load you want the vehicle to carry.
So the main thing is that you can't go over the maximum tow ball capacity of your vehicle, the downward weight.
That's right.
Yep,
so if you've got 300 kilograms, the vehicle we got behind here, and the van we got here is about 225 on the ball. We can't exceed 300 on the ball.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. We've been here with Mike Griggs. He's 120 years old, 80 years experience of caravanning, using them, towing them, fixing them. So thanks so much, Mike.
Thank you, sir.